Yes guys, what is up? Welcome to Supercars of London down at SB Race Engineering, and for those long-term viewers that have been with me since my first supercar, the original V8 Audi R8, you'll know that these guys have been the backbone of my vehicle maintenance. They have fitted countless exhausts to all of my cars and got me out of a lot of sticky situations. And actually, these guys, when I first went down there, had a base and a unit in Watford, and since then they've moved up to Aylesbury, much closer to the likes of Silverstone and the heart of Formula One, where these guys look after some phenomenal cars. And they have since, in the last 6 months, moved into an even bigger, more impressive unit. And some of the cars that are out in the car park, it has been a long time since I've seen an SLR McLaren. It is an incredible space, and inside is my Audi R8 because it needs an annual service today, and Stuart and Barry are going to go through doing a post-purchase inspection, telling me everything that is wrong mechanically with my 13-year-old Audi R8 V10. It's definitely worth mentioning that the aesthetics, exterior and interior are very much under construction in SB Race Engineering's new unit. However, they are in. The cars are phenomenal. We've got an SLR McLaren here that is just so cool to see. I would love to see more of these on the road. I think they are absolutely iconic. And then we've got a 599 HGTE that has got a really nice carbon seat. And actually, in general, the spec is pretty smart. I don't know whether this is open. It's locked. This LP560 white with a very, very light interior. But these wheels are a must on the LP560. And when I was shopping for mine back in the day, I was very much trying to find these almost polished multi-spoke wheels that on the white car just give a really classic vibe. Then we've got a 360, 355, another 360 with 430 wheels. Whilst the R8 is rumbling away and we're getting the oils up to temperature, I have some good news where the Audi badges here in chrome, I have ordered gloss black badges all the way around. So even here with the V10 and also on the front here. By the way, this needs a clean. It is filthy. It's been sat under a tree for the last 4 days whilst I've been away. There are a number of changes, exterior and aesthetically, that I want to do. Firstly, I want to make a gloss carbon side blade using NVN's PPF. Then we've got the gloss black badges that are going to go all around the car. I want to change the wheels because I don't like the V10 wheels. The exhaust tips here at the moment, I think they have to stay chrome. I'm not entirely sure how we'll be able to ceramic coat them into a matte black form. This grille here dates the car, and I know it's an old car, but I think if we can take this grille off, which Barry said actually requires the front bumper to come off completely, we'll then be able to get the grille off, get a small plate on the front, respray this in gloss black, and then hopefully have a really clean looking stealth car. So this is the new unit. First and foremost, the space is incredible.
Yeah, no, it's a good space.
It's much better than the last place. Not that it was bad, but I just feel like you're able to fit a lot more cars in. You're telling me over there's going to be another lift?
Yeah, our other ramp, the scissor lift, is going to go there, and we're going to have another one here.
Round the corner are the race cars?
Yes, the sort of projecty cars, race cars, round the corner there. It's nice to have a bit more space where we can, if we're waiting for parts, we can take the car for a ramp. That was the problem with the last place.
You're constantly moving stuff in and out.
You could only have so many cars, you're constantly moving things around.
It's a work in progress.
Work in progress, this room. We've got a four-wheel drive dyno in here.
Wow. Four-wheel drive dyno with random...
Yeah, an ISO Lely, so this is a 70s Italian thing with American V8, and we just converted it to having fuel injection on it. We're using the dyno for like diagnostic stuff really. Obviously we can do power runs and things, but at the moment it's a good diagnostic tool for cars you can't necessarily run on the road, like our race cars.
Yeah,
we had our 458 on here a couple of weeks ago just before we took it to Donington, go through all the gears.
Oh, that's mega.
Works. So you get everything up to temperature and you go, well, at least it's actually going to work. The rest down to the guys when they're on the track. So yeah, a good diagnostic tool.
So the engine room is through here, is that right?
Yeah, so we've got a separate engine room over there now. We've got 275 engine apart in there at the moment, 360 engine. Got a Dino engine coming apart as well.
Can we talk about what's in this Lamborghini box here? In here is a lot of parts that put together make up
manual conversion. So we've completed manual conversions now on the Murcielago and Ferrari with the 599, as you know.
Oh yeah, I remember. Didn't you do five GTO manifolds on it as well?
Yeah, GTO manifolds, a few other bits and pieces. Customers over the moon with it. It definitely changes the car.
Murcielago E-gear to manual conversion.
Yes. Yeah, this particular car's a roadster. The customer's not had it long, but he turned up here after having it serviced and saw the car we just converted. He's like, let's do that.
Yeah,
so
that is so cool.
Fortunately, a lot of the parts are available from Lamborghini. There's a few bits we have to get made ourselves that we've got sort of patterns for now. But touch wood, it's all still off the shelf.
that is going to be a wicked project to follow. And then, okay, here we go. Engine bay in here. A bunch of trophies from all of the stuff that you've done with various different Ferrari race cars.
Yeah, a lot of these are the challenge car stuff. We've got a few dotted around, which it sounds a bit blasé, but we didn't have anywhere to put them, so we're trying to put them in places. But we're proud of the achievements with racing. It's
very, very cool to have them all lined up and looking pretty sweet.
This was owned by a company called G-Force, who raced 935 Porsches in British GT, and then they went on to race GT1 Porsches.
Oh wow!
And those cars were all sort of built. They built a lot of 935s here with parts from Porsche, and they were very successful winning British GT and stuff. So I actually bought the building from the guy that ran the team. He's
cool.
A lot older now. He's in his 80s, a BRDC member. So the building's got a lot of history with motorsport.
Amazing.
So but it's trying to make it our own now.
Getting
in there.
I think this place here you can have almost like set up like the old Goodwood motor circuit pits.
Well, as you know, we do sort of older cars. We've got a GT40. There's quite an important historic race car. Our modern 458 Challenge car, which we're running this year in Masters. It's a nice space once again out the way of dare I say the everyday cars.
It is quiet in the workshop. It is lunchtime. Barry has headed next door to collect the number plate so that I can drive it home. The service is complete and it is now going up so that we can go underneath it, and Stuart is going to give me a rundown of what I will call a post-purchase inspection on the R8, because back in Watford, the original space for SB Race Engineering, when I had the V8 R8, do you remember that car had that really sticky gearbox? Yeah. It was such a strange thing. We changed the clutch. I remember bleeding it countless times.
Yeah, like one day it would just randomly work and the next.
It was such a weird quirk that, do you know what? When I drove this car, I took it on a test drive, and I'm not the best person as a mechanical analyst, shall we say, but it drove really nice. And I kind of felt like, going back to the Murcielago, just buying the right car mechanically, all of the aesthetics, the exterior, the interior, that can all just, with a little bit of TLC, get figured out. But the big stuff like gearbox, engine, struts, chassis, as long as that's straight.
You can work with the rest, can't you? Yeah.
So you guys have kind of given this a once over.
Yeah, I mean, we've done what they call the annual service, which is the basic service on the car, which is essentially the engine oil, gearbox oil, pollen filter. We do brake fluid pretty much every time. Or every time. Some manufacturers say it'll go 2 years or whatever. In our experience, for the cost of the extra fluid, not a lot of time is worth doing. These cars sit around, they do attract moisture sitting about, so it's prudent to. But anyway, part of that service is to go around, check everything on the car, suspension, joints, movement, lubricate door catches, just check everything's working as it should. You do have to be a little bit, cars are a certain age, you've got to expect a certain amount of wear and things not being brand new, but there's an acceptable limit is what I'm saying to certain things. But we've had a good look round. No real horror shows, to be honest.
Thank God.
Yeah, everything looks serviceable. Brakes, all the drive lines, suspension bushes, everything looks good. There's a slight weep on a pipe, which Barry's sort of pricing up now. It looks like a historic weep. We're not talking about puddles on the floor and an oil slick, but something that you don't want, sort of a ticking time bomb in the background. Stuart, I'm at the side of the road. There's a puddle.
Well, you've had that call before.
yeah, a couple of times.
It's just pretty basic TLC stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like I said to you the other day, my BMW, I've done some work on that. That's a 2016 car, and that looks worse underneath than yours. I hate to say it's my own car, but this actually looks better underneath. But I use that a lot. But
yeah. It's good to know. And then round the front, I do want to show this, because when I went down to NVN, we got to see the wonderful resprays that are happening here, and then here even worse. But you also get to see like this little bit of plastic here that, when you hear those low cars scraping, you assume that it's the paint, but actually, like, you can see just how much, and look, it's coming away there.
So you see on here that'll start going through. All these sort of points end up rubbing through on these cars.
Oh yeah, you can see there that they've had a little bit of a scrape here and here. But actually, like, the car, I mean, that must have been a pretty serious, because this car doesn't have nose lift, and actually going over,
so it has to be quite high to
going over speed bumps, like, I can cruise over. I'm really relaxed about.
I mean, you see they put these slightly thicker blocks here, which they've gone through. That's what these manufacturers hope you're going to wear out before you do anything else.
And then what about this bit here? Because look, there you've almost got like an upside down shark's fin, but on this side it's been
there's a few bits
attacked by a shark.
Inadvertently trimmed down.
And that's just from just a big whack, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, this one started wearing away. Once again, that's probably more like going up curbs and things like that, and big catches. That side's obviously caught one times too many.
Yeah. Obviously, the service, the mechanical upkeep of the car is the most important element to it. But actually, I quite enjoy driving it around in its current state.
There's a lot to be said for using a car like you said. It's not a cheap car, but a great car for the money, and you want to use it, don't you? You don't want to be going, I don't want to go out today, the weather's no good, or there's a really rough road there, I'm going to start losing bits of my car on. I mean, you've got to remember, all these bits are designed to be replaced. It's not like you're knocking the chassis out or the suspension off.
Exactly.
Definitely. I think you've done okay.
All luck. Well, we are ready to roll. Stamp in the book. Another service ticked off for the R8. My first service. It's actually come very quickly into ownership. It was one thing that I didn't really look too much into in terms of the timing of the annual service, but when I looked through the book, it was March 2022, so needed to get that done. The legends at SB Race Engineering are also going to price up this weird, quite old leak towards the back of the car, but it was also incredibly reassuring knowing the cars that they see day in, day out, mainly Italian, for them to say that this car was in pretty good condition considering the age and also the mileage was a very reassuring and calmed me right down to know that actually when I went and test drove this car from Roy Humphrey Prestige and said this is in very good mechanical condition, I was actually right. Right now I need to get fuel because I have only got 25 miles left, and I can imagine cruising through Aylesbury is only going to eat into that fuel consumption. So I will leave the video there. Hopefully you have enjoyed the new look at SB Race Engineering. The workshop is a massive upgrade. I'm super excited to see that project develop, and of course we will continue to do more stuff with the R8 and other projects that those guys have. One of them is incredibly exciting and features a 6.2 litre V12. I'll leave it at that. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Head into the links in the description to check out SB Race Engineering and what those guys get up to on social media. Honestly, some of the cars that they've had in the last couple of weeks have been ridiculous, and that new workshop is only going to go from strength to strength. But see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.